this one's special. You're really going to like this one. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. And this might be the most important video that you watch this month. This one's really good, super helpful. If you normally listen to it and you're a little distracted, please listen to the whole thing and then consider replaying it. There's so much to learn and practice, and I'm going to predict that you like the ending too. I appreciate you have a bunch of different options. You could be doing a whole bunch of different things, and here you are wanting to make your life better. Hey, do me a favor. If you can think about any other topics or issues that you want to hear about, let me know in the comment section. So you're going to know the theory, and you're going to practice, rehearse, get in reps, master the information, make it your own, and move towards excellence. That's the flow. So singles mingle, the flirting sequence, tell stories that are evocative to the senses, rich in sensory information. Get your body involved, get her body involved, get her feeling the emotions. All right, let's start with the 5 senses. You know what they are, right? So when you're telling a story, maybe it just includes one, but make it enjoyable, if not pleasurable. That's your practice right there. Get used to telling a story that makes the person feel something. Cultivate your stories. Hone your skill in eliciting emotions and sensations. Keep it clean, at least at first. All right, let's practice. Have you ever bit into a ripe lemon? The lemon juice in your mouth. Picture yourself doing that right now. You bite into a lemon. Picture that now. Pay attention to your mouth. What'd you notice? Did you pucker? Could you taste it? 10 seconds into this story, you're already having feelings. That's what I want you to do. All right. Rinse your mouth out. Have some water. Have something else. Rinse your mouth out. Ooh, I had some dark chocolate from a store in Belgium. I had them send it to me for a chocolate tasting. My first bite was heavenly. I smelled it. I took a bite and then I just let it melt in my mouth. My taste buds thanked me later. So I just let the smell take me. It melted in my mouth. The mouthfeel was phenomenal. And I could taste the subtleties of the flavor in it. The pleasure from that was unspeakable. I had to apologize to the other people at the tasting. I kept saying, "Oh my God, this is so good." And I was moaning with pleasure. All right, could you join me in that story? Have you had an experience like that with taste that you can relate to? Right? You're just bringing out emotion. I got a great bag of coffee beans. I put it in the grinder and then brewed it with the pour-over technique. Oh, it unleashes the fantastic smell. And I just enjoyed that until it was ready to drink. And that first sip, right temperature, right taste, good mouthfeel, and I just swirled it around in my mouth. Dang. All right, do you have that smell? Do you have that smell in your mind? Can you smell it right now? That's what you're doing. You're eliciting emotion or physical sensation or both. So we were out and she did those little light teases and scratches on my arm, almost advertising what might happen later. Then she caressed my arm, made it tingle, got the little goosebumps, and then she asked if I wanted her to massage my back. Hey, how you feeling right now? How did your body respond to that story? Are you open? Are you feeling your feelings, your emotions? How's your mind reacting to that story? All right? So all you're doing is you're trying on different feelings and figuring out how to help other people elicit their feelings. So I got a picnic basket, old-fashioned of course, a red and white checkered picnic blanket, and a cute table for the finger food and for our beverages. I set it up on the beach. Then I lit the 5 candles and I put them in the windproof candle holders. It was right at sunset, just dark enough. It was elegant in the simplicity, and yet she appreciated the work, the effort that I took to set the mood. And let me tell you, the mood was definitely set. I think you know how that story ended. All right, so how you feeling right now? Let it in. Try doing that yourself. Tell that story, then do it in reality. Walking barefoot along the shore, the gentle breeze through her hair, not too warm, just right. And then we saw the spectacular sunset over the water, the rhythmical waves gently lapping. How many senses did you feel right there? Are you allowing yourself to feel? Are you in your head or are you in your body right now? Allow yourself to feel it, fully feel it. Allow yourself to enjoy your senses and invite her along. Master the story, maybe even text her these things. Become a master of setting the scene and eliciting her feelings. So there we were in Bali. The weather was perfect. Not a care in the world. Relaxed. Great conversation. Emotionally connected. And she gives me that look. You know the look. I know what she means, and I look forward to connecting as soon as we get back to the bungalow. So again, you set the scene. How are you feeling right now? Is there any romantic impulse in there? Maybe some sexual feelings? You set the context. You cultivate it. It's a valuable skill. Don't just let it happen. You set the context. You created that. So tell stories that evoke romantic feelings. Like what? Like, let's brainstorm. Okay, so that picnic did it, right? A romantic walk. Everybody likes a good romantic walk by the water. Or maybe Hawaii. The wind whipping through her hair. She skis down the Swiss Alps. That does it for some people. Maybe it's a cruise. Other people hate cruises. Maybe it's the grandeur of the Grand Canyon. Or the helicopter above Sedona. Dipping and darting and seeing the absolute wonder of the area. Maybe it's scuba diving the Great Barrier Reef. Snorkeling with the dolphins. For some people it's simple, like flying a kite. Or maybe photographing, painting the sunrise, the sunset. Maybe it's hang gliding. Visiting Machu Picchu or the pyramids. The gondola ride in Venice. Our dinner after seeing Versailles. It could be the peak experiences that evoke these romantic feelings. Or the simplicity of the dew on the tip of a blade of grass as the sun is rising and you can see all these little dewdrops. Hey, I live near the zoo, and when I'm out walking, the roar of the lion is intoxicating. So what mood are you setting, or are you just winging it? You want her to feel, you're not just giving her information, you want her to feel excitement, connection, adventure, romance. Remember that if she doesn't feel connected, the other stuff often misses the mark. Hey, I'm going to introduce a little bit of envy or jealousy here. There are people who are doing this. So if you're like, I don't want to do that, that's too much work, that's fine. You don't have to compete well, but know that you're not competing well. If your competition is doing this and you're not, So imagine starting a story. I sleep naked, so when my dog has to go out in the middle of the night and I have to take him outside, I have to put the bathrobe on, and it's just annoying. All right, what's going through her head? She might even miss the rest of the story. And then you might add some self-deprecating humor. Oh, sorry for the visual, by the way. See what I did there? So this morning I was thinking as I was getting out of the shower, why don't we go get dinner at that new place that you were mentioning? Okay, you didn't have to mention the shower, but now she's thinking. She's feeling. Notice how quickly you changed the subject to dinner. You planted the seed. You moved on, which is much less creepy. What else could you say? What else could you do? So this morning, as I was getting dressed, I was thinking about our dating and where to go next. And then you suggest a place that you think she would like. You're not just doing boring dinner and a movie, but something with a little bit more edge. And you tossed in as I was getting dressed. You know she's picturing it. So you've done the work of knowing what's available in your area. You know how to have fun wherever you are. Oh, and you added the piece that keeps you out of the friend zone. As I was getting dressed. What other stories can you tell? How about something with power? Power can go either way, so be a little careful on this one. As I was getting out of the car, holding the club in my hand, I was telling myself, don't go back to prison. Don't go back to prison. But this son of a, he cut me off, and that was not cool. He has to learn. He needed the beat down. All right, that's manly, right? Or at least that's what you think it comes off as, but put yourself in her shoes. Some women might find that attractive and like the fact that you're dragging your knuckles on the ground. That's great. Others would be horrified. Why are you telling stories like that? That scares people. Are you trying to scare her? Remember, you're setting the tone. So my son and I, as we were wiring the garage this weekend, all right, that in itself is a message. It's very different than saying, I like power tools. I can rewire things. I can help you if you need help. So I was nailing the boards down, making sure everything fit just right. And as I was lifting the 4x4, building a loft in the garage with my son asked me, hey, Dad, what are you going to do with the loft? I told him, I just want to pass down my skills to you. I want you to learn how to do these things, and I wanted to bond with you. And he's like, wait, what? You're doing this just to bond with me? Oh my God, Dad, you just spent a lot of money on this, and you're doing it just... Oh, that is really sweet. All right, what did I communicate in that story? I'm handy. I have disposable income. I follow through on projects. I like bonding with my son. I'm an involved father. How do you think she feels about me right now? All right, next story. Yeah, so growing up, I was always playing sports, working out, running, liked to stay in really good shape. I did well, not because I was naturally gifted, but because I had that never give up mindset. Yeah, I knew how to get results and my body obeyed my mind. What did I communicate in that story? I'm a natural athlete. I work hard. I know how to get results. I'm determined and I persevere. Everybody likes the person with those qualities, depending on how they tell the story. Are they arrogant or just giving background information? I could tell that same story differently and you would be immediately repulsed. So flirting, not always about the content, it's about the process, the how. The story isn't really important. How you tell the story is flirting or not flirting, attractive, repulsive. All right, so stereotypically, women seem to like watching a guy lift heavy things. From an evolutionary psychology point of view, we know that that makes him more desirable. Seeing your bulging muscles, that's also helpful. She's going to see you as more manly, not consciously, but she's going to see you as more manly than the soft man who has a belly or is out of shape or sits all the time. Fair or not fair, these things exist in our brains. So think about this one. Talk about solving problems at work. Notice the focus is on solving, not on the problem. She wants to know you're up to the task, not a complainer. You're not going to give up easily. Hey, I don't make up the rules. Oh yeah, and don't solve her problems unless she asks directly and very specifically for your help. Even then, I'd probably clarify it like, hey, do you want my suggestions for how to make it better? I just want to make sure here. All right, so do you have a story about you standing up to a bully? People love that one. Whether it's at work, school, other, we appreciate the person who stands up for us, the protector. Can you protect me as true leaders do? So there I was at Penn, right? Penn's a pretty good school. I thought the curriculum was good, but maybe too easy. Getting an A, I want it to be an accomplishment, but if it's too easy, where's the challenge? So I asked the teacher to make it harder. I told her, hey, I'm challenging myself, and please challenge me even more. She immediately took me to the dean and asked me to repeat myself. I had a couple meetings with my friends who felt the same way, and they invited us to meet with the people in power. We got the entire department involved in this discussion, and we talked about how to improve things. So when I see something wrong, I'm not someone who just lets it go. If we can make things better, I value doing that. That same story tells a whole bunch, and it could be bragging, or you could be highlighting your personality and what you value. Tell the story differently, you come off differently. Isn't that what flirting is? All right, let's go silly. Dude, you know I played air hockey in college, right? Well, I mean, I went pro, getting drafted in the first round. I don't think you really understand how good I am. But I like you, so I'm going to go easy on you. I don't want you to feel bad about yourself. All right, so that's goofy, but it's lighthearted, silly, playful, a little bit weird, but hey, that's my brand. Oh, listen, my foosball sponsors, they encourage me not to play foosball with people who aren't that good. They don't want me to, cheapen the brand. So are you any good, or my sponsors reprimand me for playing with you? Yeah, let's not do this for money, but maybe the loser buys ice cream. I don't think I have to report that type of income, right? So imagine her response to that. Wait, are you serious? You're a goofball. You're ridiculous. Okay, foosball nerd. Hey, listen, I apologize for leading you on. I did not graduate from the Institute for the Sexually Gifted. I mean, I taught there until they made me the dean, but I was not the valedictorian. Wherever you heard that rumor, that's not true. So it's silly, risque, a little bit fun. You're making her think, you're planting some seeds. Or take on this one. It's an educated guess about her and who she is for real underneath all this pretense. It's risky, but sometimes there's a high risk, high reward. Might not fit you, might fit you. So you go up to her and you say, let me guess. You strike me as someone who has insecurities, but you pretend you don't. You wonder deep down if you're really cool or if people just like you because of your looks. You've had friends and boyfriends that valued your looks instead of all the great things about your personality, and you didn't like it. You either really pissed her off or you made her think, and no one talks to somebody like that. You just went deep. You broke all sorts of social norms, but not in a bad way, right? Think about what you said, all the great things about your personality, and you didn't like how they treated you. You might be able to bond over that. High risk, high reward. Hey, if my jet weren't in the shop this weekend and we could fly to Rio, would you rather watch a soccer game, go to the beach, climb the mountain, tour the area? That's a fun text to send. Can you see yourself flying to Paris this afternoon? There's a shop that has the best pastry, and we could be back in time for work in the morning. Hey, listen, my buddy, he owns a vineyard in Tuscany, and this weekend he's on the Amalfi Coast, and he says we can stay at his villa. So we could take your airplane, and I could make you your favorite dish, and we could kind of just tour the area. All right, so you're being silly, but you're definitely managing emotions, right? Don't do too much of that. Don't do the over-promising, under-delivering. And who knows, maybe she's not a traveler, maybe she doesn't like adventure. She might be a homebody and enjoy cuddling on the couch, watching a show. Maybe reading her book, or having a dinner party, going to hear live music, people watching. Make sure you tell different stories until you know her vibe. So how do I practice this? Please notice in the stories I told so far, I didn't finish any of the stories. I started it. I allowed the imagination to fill in the blanks. I'm betting she knows what she wants better than what I know. I don't know her that well, so let her brain fill in the missing information. Now she's thinking about happy memories, potential futures. She is inserting you into the role of partner in crime. How long have you been waiting to use that joke, Don? You've been sitting on that for how long? Oh my gosh, you've been sitting on it a while, haven't you? She asked. She figured out that I memorize jokes, and my brain kind of works a little funny. When I see a situation or an opening for a joke, I insert the memorized joke into the texting situation, or if it's in person, I do it in person. It looks like I'm a really fast thinker, and I may be, but those ones are memorized. So imagine in your brain, you have a library of jokes. You nail the delivery. You can always lighten the mood. She's laughing, she's groaning, she's rolling her eyes, and she's feeling good, and so are you. Knowing the theory is important. You got to practice the theory. You need to practice it correctly a bunch of times. So see yourself practicing it correctly. How do you plan on practicing this? What's your plan? If you don't have a plan, you're less likely to actually do it. Practice telling these stories, telling the jokes, make your own. Practice memorizing new material. Listen to stand-up comedians on YouTube or in person. Look at Pinterest memes that are funny. Approach the world from the absurd. Watch how you can find humor in anything. Have you ever listened to a master storyteller or a poet? Their words, their use of words compel you to feel. You're almost required to feel if they are that good. Just like good music evokes feelings, so does a good story. So picture yourself. You're dressed the way that you feel confident. You remind yourself, hey, my confidence is not dependent on anything outside me. I determine how confident I feel, always. Nothing from the outside has to affect me, unless I want it to. You smell good, you look good. The conversation's going well, you see yourself doing this skill at a level of excellence, and it gets the results you want. See, that's a visualization. Now feel the feelings of it going well. Excellent. Now do a lot of reps. That first rep, that's nice. Your brain is like, hey, this guy actually did this. Now imagine you've done it 100 times. How much more confident are you going to feel? So that video in your head, it's in color, high def, surround sound. Your posture's great, your voice, your humor, everything's perfect. You are in flow. How's that feel? The visualization makes your confidence go higher, making it more likely that you follow through. You're paying attention to emotions. And in reality, when you actually have to do it, you are unstoppable. You are in control of your emotions, your confidence. Confidence is not contingent on their approval, their acceptance. It's not dependent on the outside influence. No matter what happens around you, confidence is your state. Confidence does not rely on an outcome. You've rehearsed it, mastered it, you're moving towards excellence. It's worth the practice, and practice feels good. Please tell me that you practice these things and that you're creating the life that you want. I don't want you to be one of those victims that just wing it and then complain it didn't work as if life happens to you. Go make it happen. Plan, practice, prepare, make it happen. Hey, that victim thinking, not attractive. Imagine if you practiced all of this that we just did. Imagine your level of confidence as you texted and went on your next date. What impact could that have? So be respectful, have integrity, make sure that you play a lot. Not being mean or cruel, and please curtail the mind reading. So please hit like and subscribe. Go ahead and share this on your Facebook feed or with your friend who needs to hear it. It helps me spread the message of good, respectful dating that changes the culture of dating. If you want more resources on conflict and dating, check out my website. It's boyscounseling.com.